They say love is supposed to last forever, but forever can end in a single moment. My name is Daniel, and this is the story of how my dream wedding became the day I buried the man I used to be. He gave her his heart. She gave it to his best man, and on their wedding night, he gave.
They say love is supposed to last forever, but forever can end in a single moment. My name is Daniel, and this is the story of how my dream wedding became the day I buried the man I used to be. I've always believed love was simple. Two people, one promise, a lifetime built on trust. That belief carried me through heartbreak, loneliness, and every failed relationship until I met Claire. She wasn't loud, she wasn't flashy, but she had this quiet way of pulling you in like gravity. We met at a friend's engagement party. I was taking photos, and she was helping organize the event. I dropped my camera bag, she laughed, and somehow I knew my life would never be the same again. That laugh became my favorite sound. A year later, I was on one knee, asking her to marry me. She said yes, and in that moment, the world seemed to stand still. Everything I had ever wanted stood right there, smiling through tears. I didn't come from money, but I worked hard, late nights, weekend shoots, hustling to give her the wedding she deserved. She handled the details, the decorations, the colors. I handled the trust. Because that's what love is, right? Trust. Her best friend, Nick, was going to be my best man. I didn't know him well, but he seemed charming, maybe a little too charming. Sometimes I'd walk into a room and find them laughing together. I'd smile because I wanted to believe she was happy. I even joked once, if you ever run away with Nick, at least send me an invitation. She rolled her eyes, kissed me, and said, "Don't be stupid. You're the only one I want." Yeah, that's what I thought too. /one end. The morning of our wedding, the lake was golden under the sunrise. The venue looked like a dream, perfect, peaceful, pure. Claire walked down the aisle, looking like an angel. We said, "I do." We kissed. Everyone clapped. I thought I was the luckiest man alive. But sometimes, fate waits for you to smile before it rips the ground from under your feet. A week before the wedding, she'd been distant. Late night calls, sudden silences. I asked if something was wrong. She said it was just stress, wedding anxiety. And I believed her because love makes you blind. The night before the ceremony, I slept like a man who thought he'd already won. I didn't know that by morning, I'd already lost everything. It started with a phone call. My friend Josh said, "Hey man, I think you need to see this." He sent me a video. Claire and Nick in a hotel room, laughing, kissing, together. My hands went numb. My chest felt like it was collapsing. I watched it once, then again, because I needed to be sure the woman in that video was really mine. It was. I didn't scream. I didn't call her. I just stopped feeling. Something inside me broke. Quietly. The man who believed in love died that day. The one who replaced him wanted justice. I remembered our prenup, the clause her father, a lawyer, had written. If adultery was proven, the guilty party owed $20,000. At the time, it was a joke. Now it was prophecy. I hired a private investigator. Within 48 hours, I had everything: photos, receipts, proof. I didn't cancel the wedding. I didn't confront her. I waited, because sometimes silence screams louder than any fight ever could. The ceremony came and went. She looked beautiful. She smiled like nothing was wrong. But that night at the reception, I gave the DJ a USB drive. "Play this after the toast," I said. "It's a surprise for my wife." Her father toasted first, then Nick. "To my best friend Daniel," he said, "and the love of his life, Claire. You two are perfect together." Perfect. The word cut like glass. When it was my turn, I stood up and smiled. Before we end the speeches, I said, "I have a little surprise for my beautiful wife." The crowd cheered. Claire blushed. The DJ hit play. At first, it was photos of us smiling, kissing, and dancing. Then the screen flickered. A hotel room. Claire, Nick, together. The room froze. Her father's face turned white. Nick stood up. Claire couldn't even move. And I said, "Ladies and gentlemen, that was my wife and my best man." Chaos broke out. Her father yelled. Nick tried to speak and got punched by my dad. Guests screamed. But me? I just stood there, calm, watching. Claire ran out crying. Nick stumbled after her. I went to the bar, poured a drink. "Well," I said, "the party's still paid for. Let's not waste it." The crowd hesitated. Then the music started again. People danced. Life went on. But for me, the music never came back. The next morning, I woke up alone. Headlines everywhere. Groom exposes cheating bride at wedding. People called me a hero, said I was brave. But no one asked how it felt to destroy the person you once loved. I ignored her calls. Every voicemail was painful in her voice. "Please, Daniel, talk to me. I'm sorry. I love you." I deleted them. But some nights, I'd hear them in my head anyway. Her father contacted me. The prenup clause was enforced. $20,000 wired to my account. I never touched it, because that money smelled like everything I'd lost. Months passed. I went back to work, photographing weddings. Funny, right? The man who exposed his bride is now taking pictures of others, saying, "Forever." Every vow sounded like a lie. Every "I love you" felt like a warning. Then one day I saw Nick. Same city, same street. He looked broken. "She's not okay," he said. "She tried to end her life." I couldn't breathe. The ground fell away again. "Why are you telling me this?" I asked. "Because she still loves you," he whispered. And I needed to say I'm sorry. I looked at him and realized I didn't hate him anymore. I just didn't feel anything. Weeks later, I got a letter. No return address. Her handwriting. "I know you'll never forgive me. I don't expect you to. But I did love you. I was scared of commitment, of being enough. You didn't deserve this. I hope someday you find peace, even if it's without me." I folded it, put it in a box, and locked it away, like the memory of us. A year later, I photographed another wedding. The groom looked at his bride the way I once looked at Claire. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel anger. I just whispered, "Good luck, man." That night, standing by the ocean, camera in hand, I finally understood something. Revenge doesn't heal you. It just keeps you bleeding longer. I got my justice. I got my closure. But I lost my ability to love again. And that was the real cost. Sometimes, the people who hurt us the most aren't our enemies. They're the ones we trusted to protect our hearts. And when love turns into revenge, nobody walks away unscarred.